When Armstrong returned to Decca Records in 1949, his producer Milt Gabler was always looking for popular songs that Armstrong could cover, and some of Armstrong's biggest hits come from this Decca period from 1949 to about 1953 or 54. Probably the biggest hit, the one that has had the most legs of all of them, is Vie En Rose. And Armstrong was a fan of that one before he even stepped foot in the studio. He had originally heard it sung by Jacqueline Francois. This is Louis Armstrong's copy of the original 10-inch LP, which includes Vie En Rose. So that was the first time he had heard the song. Of course, you know, almost a tie with Louis Armstrong, people associate Vie En Rose with Edith Path, and of course Armstrong had her 10-inch LP as well, which featured Vie En Rose as the very first track. So he loved the song. He knew that this would be a good fit. He shows up in the studio, 1950, and Cy Oliver wrote the arrangement, and I think it's magic from the opening note, Earl Hines with those piano glissandos and the tenderness. Armstrong just had this kind of magical way of almost removing the gravel from his voice sometimes. He sings this beautiful, clear diction, but oh, that trumpet solo at the end, there's nothing quite like it. And sure enough, it was another hit. He loved the song. This is Armstrong's copy of the original 78. And if you notice, there's a little sticker on it that says recorded. And that was a note to himself that he had taken the record and dubbed it to tape. And he had dubbed it to many tapes because this was one of his all-time favorite songs, something that was in the repertoire until the mid-1960s. Like I said, really fertile for Armstrong covering these love songs, and Vie En Rose, and the flip side, C'est Si Bon, the other kind of Armstrong Goes French number. They became the staples of a Decca record called Satchmo's Serenades. This is the EP, kind of a beautiful cover here, but with some of these songs. And eventually, it made it to LP, where Vie En Rose was the first song on side 2. And this is not Louis Armstrong's copy. The only Louis Armstrong copy we have is actually this version, which I think he picked up in Buenos Aires in 1957, because it is Serenatas por Satchmo. And so, you know, Armstrong singing a French song, buying the record in Argentina. And then we have one little neat thing here. Here's a Decca Records catalog spotlighting Vie En Rose and C'est Si Bon, but it's not an ordinary Decca catalog. It is entirely in Japanese. And so Armstrong went to Japan in 1953, and this was, I guess, waiting for the fans there that they could read about him, buy his latest Decca records, and get the lyrics to Vie En Rose if they wanted to sing along. So Argentina, France, Japan, you know, that's why they called him the ambassador of goodwill. Armstrong's international appeal knows no limits. I think Vie En Rose will be one of those songs that he'll always be associated with till the end of time.